Wasabi, everyone. Welcome to Two Real Reviews. Two reviewers with no agenda. I'm Purple Sage, and my partner in this endeavor is Sweet Bass.
Hello, everyone. New microphone today. Hope it works.
Today, we're starting a series called Revisit Review. Today's review is Twister from 1996, directed by Jan de Bont, who directed the 1994 hit Speed. Rewatching Twister with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton was such a blast. This movie is a favorite of mine that I would watch a lot when I was a kid. I hadn't watched it in years, but going back and watching it again was like a blast from the past. I always wondered what it would be like to be Joe and chasing tornadoes. This movie takes off basically right from the start. You join Bill, who has come to get his wife Joe to sign divorce papers so that he can marry his new lady love Melissa. Joe shows him an invention that they were working on before he left. Dorothy is supposed to help them get data from the Twister. Dorothy is basically a metal drum with a ton of balls inside. Then they are off to the races after they receive word that there is a tornado that is touching down. The action doesn't stop throughout the movie. While some of the stunts are obvious and probably wouldn't actually happen the way they are depicted, it is still a thrill to watch. I'm not sure if Joe and Bill would have been able to breathe while in the tornado, but it makes for a beautiful shot. I would have absolutely loved to have seen the double feature that was playing at the drive-in. The Shining and Psycho together would have been a blast. I still absolutely love this film and will still watch it again and again.
I'm with you on the double feature. So we might as well just state the primary reason we're doing this is that as of this recording, the next Twister movie is coming out in 2 days, and we're kind of excited for it. So but just getting that disclosure out of the way. Anyway, I really want to give some love to Phillip Seymour Hoffman. I think this was the second movie that I ever saw him in, and I think he's also like the second best character in this movie. Like I know this is like a few years before his career really took off with like The Big Lebowski and all of these Paul Thomas Anderson movies that I know you've never seen.
I was just wondering why do you call Billy the extreme?
Because Billy is the extreme.
I think Bill Paxton was a wonderful actor. Did you know he actually passed away in 2017?
Yes.
Yeah, it's sad.
That
like,
sucks. But so did Phillip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, rest in peace to both of them. Wonderful talents. Like I really liked Bill Paxton in Tombstone and Aliens, Predator, even Predator 2, which is one day I might do a video on that on a movie that's so bad it's good. Anyway, I also have to credit the cinematographer. His name was Jack Green. He also did the cinematography for Beverly Hills Cop, Unforgiven, and The Bridges of Madison County with Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep. So props to that dude. And then the editor, he did a serviceable job. See, I like this movie too, but I'm going to criticize it just a little bit. I don't like it as much as you do, but I still like it. The editor was named Michael Kahn, I believe. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he did stuff like Jurassic Park and Minority Report. Those are like better shot movies, just in terms of editing. There's just a few edits in the movie that just go on a second too long or a second too short. Like because of the way it's edited, sometimes you get displaced where the camera is versus where the characters are.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, but...
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said I noticed that,
yeah.
that did it as well.
Yeah, it can pull you out for a second, but it's not bad. There are 2 writers to this movie, and it certainly... I can tell there's 2 different stories in here. I don't know who wrote what, but I know that one of the writers was actually... I looked this up. She starred in the movie Prom Night 1980, which... I actually like that movie. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. So, and then the music is great. I believe you pronounce his name Mark Mancina. He's done all sorts of stuff, and he did Speed also, which this director did. So I like the fact that it's a team coming back together basically to make it a cool movie. So when it does the 90s music modern, as it was modern at the time, it serves its age with that. But like the orchestral, like, you know, go get 'em music is really good. So, and also, the villain in this movie is played by Cary Elwes, and I have a lot of respect for Cary Elwes as a talent. Like, I love The Princess Bride and Saw 1 and a bunch of other movies that I've seen him in. Like, even the 2019 Black Christmas remake, which is an awful, awful movie. But I don't blame him for that. But his character in this movie is just not giving anything to do except for to be the jerk man and to teleport when he's needed. That's one of my biggest criticisms of the movie, is that the villains seem to just teleport whenever the plot and the script asks them to. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. There's a lot of them that do that, though.
So when we watched this movie, I laughed 2 times in the middle of it, not in a comedic way. I laughed at its silliness. And that was one of the times where it's like the teleporter, or the villains keep teleporting in whenever they need, and it's hilarious to me. I love that plot construction. It's silly.
Can we give a props to the Gorsh sign?
Dude, we had to rewind it with that Gorsh sign, and we were like, what? That is so weird. It sounded like the Gorsh that Goofy says in like a Disney cartoon.
It looked like he would have been saying that, not sounded like.
Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. So epic placement of that Gorsh thing. Did the product placement bother you at all?
Not really.
It didn't
It's
either.
not in your face.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, it's all Pepsi, whatever, but like, yeah, it was way more harmless then than it is now in certain movies. But the other thing that made me laugh the second time I laughed in this movie was when they're both running from the storm, and it made me think of the movie Jaws: The Revenge, where the woman hero in that movie thinks that a shark has a vendetta against her family. And I said to myself, this reminds me of that, because the tornado seemed to just want to kill this girl played by Helen Hunt. Which, by the way, Helen Hunt is my favorite character in this movie. She's great. I love this idealistic daredevil as she is. Helen Hunt is awesome in this movie. So, there's a scene later where one of the characters may have potentially suffered a loss. I won't get too deep into that. And it seemed a little like all-saving hero for me. It was like, why does this character have to be the all story? Like, come on. Like, that was a little bit of cheap writing, but the last sequence is so like energetic that it doesn't bother me at all. You know, it's like, okay, that was silly and dumb. Let's go back to the fun. So I do recommend this movie as well. I just think that if you just have to go into it without a single thought in your head. It is a good movie, and I did rate it 3 stars out of 4, or a B for a letter grade.
I rated it 3.5 stars. A+ for me.
Always a guilty pleasure for you, I see?
Absolutely. I
Okay,
absolutely love this movie.
Not so guilty, but I get you. So, well, thank you for watching, and we'll be back soon with a new video. Cheers.